Hello, this is Japanese Economic Review Channel. All right, today we're jumping right into the latest official statistics just published by the Japanese government. We're going to break down the population estimates for January 2026 and really explore what these numbers are telling us about where the country is headed. So first things first, where is this data coming from? Well, it's straight from the source, the Statistics Bureau of Japan's Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications. This isn't just some analysis or prediction. This is the official data, giving us the most reliable snapshot you can get of the country's population. So let's get right to the main headline. And while it's a story that probably sounds familiar, a trend that's been going on for a while now, Japan's population continues to shrink. Let's dig into the numbers. Okay, so here's the top line number. As of January 1st, 2026, the provisional estimate for Japan's total population is 122.95 million. But, a number that big is kind of hard to wrap your head around by itself. The real story, the part that really tells you what's going on, is the change from the year before. And there it is. In just 12 months, the total population dropped by 600,000 people. I mean, think about that. That's basically the size of a pretty major city, just gone from the total count in a single year. It's a huge sign that this trend is not slowing down. So the big question is, why? What's actually driving this decline? To really get to the bottom of that why, we have to look at the two big forces that are always shaping a country's population. You've got natural change, that's simply births minus deaths, and then you have migration change, which is all about people moving in and out of the country. And this is where it gets really interesting. It's almost like a giant tug of war. On one side of the rope, you have natural change, and it is pulling the population down hard. Deaths are outnumbering births, leading to a loss of nearly 890,000 people. But on the other side, you have migration, and it's actually pulling in the opposite direction, adding almost 340,000 people. The problem is pretty clear, right? The downward pull from the natural decline is just so much stronger that it's overwhelming the gains from immigration, resulting in that overall drop we just saw. But if we peel back one more layer, the story gets even more dramatic. That single overall number is actually masking two completely different diverging trends. It's truly a tale of two populations. Let's break it down. So first, let's just look at Japanese nationals. Wow. In the last year, this group shrank by 935,000 people. That is a massive and accelerating decline. This is really where you see the raw impact of that low birth rate and aging population. Now, check this out. It's the complete opposite story. During that exact same time, the number of foreign residents living in Japan grew by 316,000. That's an increase of over 9%. So you've got one population shrinking rapidly while the other is experiencing incredibly strong growth. This is fundamentally reshaping the demographic landscape of Japan as we speak. Okay, so we've covered the total numbers. But what might be even more important for the future is the composition of that population. So let's take a deeper look at the age structure, because that's where you find the real clues about the economy. This chart gives us a quick snapshot of the situation. The working age population, people between 15 and 64, makes up just under 60% of the total. Folks 65 and over are now nearly 30%, and kids under 15 make up just 11%. But again, these slices of the pie don't tell the full story. The most revealing details are hidden in how these groups are changing. And here it is. This is the real story within the story. The working age population shrank by over 200,000. Now you might see that the overall 65-plus population saw a tiny dip and not think much of it. But look at that last number. The cohort of people 75 and older, it didn't shrink. It actually grew by over 500,000 people. This is so important. It tells us Japan isn't just aging. Its most elderly demographic is expanding rapidly, and that has profound economic implications. So what does this all mean when you put it together? All these shifts, a shrinking workforce, a growing reliance on foreign residents, and a booming population of the super elderly, it all boils down to a fundamental question for Japan's economy. Think about it. As the pool of available workers gets smaller, and the number of retirees who need support gets bigger, the old ways of doing things just might not cut it anymore. This data is basically a huge signpost pointing to a future that's going to demand some seriously innovative economic and social strategies to maintain stability and prosperity. What those strategies will be, well, that remains the central challenge for policymakers today. Thank you for watching the Japanese Economic Review. We look forward to having you with us again.